Hello, Mike Sleegers from Cowaramup Agencies. Today I'm with Brett Roberts from Olio Bello. Welcome, Brett.
Thanks, Mike.
Can you just tell us a little bit about the history of the farm of Olio Bello?
Yeah. We started like a lot of farms in the district as dairy farms, and we planted olives in the mid-90s. So we've been going about 25 years. We're still very much a boutique operation. We've got about 8,000 trees, and in the scheme of olive groves, that's a small farm. We've got 14 different varieties. That makes us quite unique. So we have a range of delicate oils and flavours right through to robust oils, which are more herbaceous and fruitful and very peppery. We pride ourselves on our oil, and something we're very passionate about. We also have diversified into other areas such as skincare, gourmet foods, into tourism and so forth. But at the heart and soul, we're still very much a working farm. And that's our main operation.
And it's been organic for how long?
So we've been organic for 20 years, and so it's been a long time process. And for us, and for me in particular, I think it's more about a production philosophy, and that philosophy is based on sustainability. Yep. And what we're trying to do is minimise inputs and produce what we can from the farm, so that the operation as an agricultural operation is as sustainable as it can be.
Yep. So the problems and issues you're getting with that system, you're reducing your yield, or you're just trying to get a better balance of health in your tree to make it combat all the disease and problems? Absolutely.
So as you know, I think if being organic means that we don't have options with synthetic problems, synthetic solutions, for problems. So what we're trying to do is prevent the problems from occurring, and that's through tree health and isolate and identify trees that have got a problem, and then basically we're putting more attention into those areas. And it is on our farm. It's also varietal. There's a couple of varieties that are more prone to diseases than others, and insect infestation.
So you just have to work harder on those particular trees?
And what I've found is that by working more intensely with those trees, and a small number of trees, then that tree, you're building the ability of that tree to fight off
so
insects.
You make it more resilient. So
absolutely.
It can deal with it.
And I think, from an organic perspective, you have to go down that path. So we'd rather prevent a problem.
Oh, totally. You can't cure. You've got to be preventative.
So that's ongoing.
Part of the organics.
The main insect issue we've got is in our industry is the lace bug, and you can probably see on the leaf here where you can start to see that mottled or dotted yellow look, where the lace bug's sucking out the chlorophyll from the leaf. If I turn that over, you can see on here there's no eggs and no juvenile lace bugs. This is the wrong time of the year anyway, but there's no eggs that have been laid. So what we're relying on is our natural predators to be in balance with the pest, and by avoiding a spray regime, we have an environment where we can build up our natural predators. Now, does that mean it doesn't get out of balance? Yeah, absolutely it does sometimes, and then we've got to look at other organic solutions. But part of our thing is monitoring our number of predators and making sure that we try and keep that in balance. At this stage, we haven't had to import any in, but we certainly know that we've got, and you can see here, there's that we've got sufficient predators to kill the lace bug. Now we do have some varieties, Arbor Queen in particular, seems to be a different issue, and so there's probably 40 or 50 trees that we've got to monitor a bit more.
So is that a leaf issue with the tree, or is it the way the tree grows that causes that? Yeah,
it's an interesting one. I think what happens with it is that the Arbor Queen typically don't grow as much. So they're a smaller tree and a smaller amount of growth. So I think the the lace bug can have a bigger impact on those trees.
Because it's not as vigorous.
Not as vigorous, and it hasn't got as much leaf to.
So the impact is more felt on that kind of tree.
So then over the years we know which trees are likely to get it. We monitor them very closely and first, and we put more input into those trees. More extensive pruning. And so last year we pruned all our Arbor Queen, burnt the pruning straight away, got rid of the eggs and the juveniles. And once the juveniles are on the ground, then you've exterminated them.
Yeah, okay.
So and then just using our natural predators. So there's the lace bug. The other issue across the industry is soft nose or anthrax nose,
Yep.
and that seems to be more varietal. And really, we've just got to manage that.
Yep.
Once again, through tree health, through pruning, and keeping the canopies open as we can.
Yep.
Now that's not perfect. Well, I'd like it to be a lot better than we are, but there's costs we just have to bear with that.
Is that seasonal, the issue of that? Like a wetter season or a dry season?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, it makes a difference in wetter seasons. But also it's we just learned to pick those varieties first. Before the winter
it becomes
rains.
An issue. So okay. So you put a system in place to deal with the problem. So
and I think that going long term, you could eventually look at removal of those trees and replanting
a different variety.
And I'm not aware of any organic sprays that we can use, but there may well be as things improve quickly over time. So
through the brief conversation we've had, I think you prefer not to use sprays if you have to at all.
Yeah.
To have a natural system to deal with it.
I think so. I think what we want to try and do is create an environment where the trees have the ability to fight back against pests and diseases. That doesn't mean that we don't intervene, but we want to minimise that.
Yeah, well, that's where your monitoring can
absolutely,
where you can come in and
I think in the next couple of years we'll get even more. That'll become even more intensive. As technology and our systems improve. With your question with respect to yield, our yields are less, but they're still commercially viable, and it's something that we're always trying to improve as well. And what that does do for us, though, it increases our labour costs significantly, and that means then that there's a cost of production is higher, and therefore our niche, if you like, is selling direct to customers. We try and bypass the traditional supermarket and wholesaling and distribution markets.
And you hand harvest, and the reason you hand harvest is flavour as well as management issue as well?
Okay, so one of the key parameters for oil to be extra virgin, and as well as being organic, we only make extra virgin olive oil, is the condition of your fruit. So by hand harvesting, we feel that we get a slightly better quality fruit, in that it's not bruised as much as it could be. Now, that I should say, you can make absolutely first-class, excellent olive oil, or extra virgin olive oil from machine harvested fruit. But our niche is touched on is we have a lot of 1%ers that we do, and hand harvesting is one of them, to try and make our product a better product. I guess what we're really finding is like in a lot of industries, you reach a level, and then to improve, to make something 10% better, takes twice as much work. And hand harvesting is an example of that. It takes us 3 months, whereas it probably takes us a week and a half if we put a shaker in.